Good afternoon, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger. Live the life we love, and always don't forget to loaf and lubricate. Anyway, I hope you had a great holiday, but if not, every day is a holiday to a yogi. Every day is a sacred day to a yogi. Let's explore that. Beatles 65. I get high when I see you go by. My oh my, then inside my mind just butterflies. Butterflies, why am I so shy when I'm beside you? It's only love and that is all. Why should I feel the way I do? It's only love and that is all. But it's so hard loving you. Is it right that you and I should fight every night? Just the sight of you makes nighttime bright, very bright. Haven't I the right to make it up, girl? It's only love and that is all. Why should I feel the way I do? It's only love and that is all. But it's so hard loving you. Yes, it's so hard loving you. Hit the falsetto. Loving you. Yeah, Beatles, Rubber Soul, one of my favorites. Anyway, let's get on with what we're doing here, providing content. Never know who's going to be tuning in, whether you're new or whether you're hanging in there just to support me and listen to my psycho babble, blah, blah, blah. All right, what are the themes I'm always involved in? First, how do we awaken joy in our life? Well, first, ready for everything, open to anything, beginner's mind, anything can happen at any time. Anything that could happen to a human being could happen to me today. Likelihood of me getting kidnapped by Peruvian guerrillas, I doubt it, but it could happen, right? So if you happen to be in a phase of your life where things are easy and relatively unchallenged, or things are difficult and challenges are every day, remain present for any uplifting state that may come through or by as a result of that, rather than thinking that is going to occult it from view. So it's when you're facing challenges that you need your joy the most, or you need to call upon it, or know how to get back to it if you get a moment's break and you're not going to be so distracted that you don't allow yourself or give yourself permission to do that. So we talk about the ability of the mind in terms of an interactive universe to attract to oneself through the law of attraction. That which is like unto itself is drawn. That's your search engine. Your own thoughts are a magnetic search engine that's going to pull back toward you the manifestation or the demonstration or the exteriorization in the world of form and help you with creative abilities. I don't want to get over crazy about the hype and promise, like beyond your wildest imagination. That just sucks you in. But the creative potential that is there, that's lying fallow, that has to be worked. And of course, what do you work with? Well, I call it your shadow energy or the manure of your life to fertilize the ground. And when you fertilize the ground that way, you start opening up to a wider perspective beyond your own personal perception. And for me, of course, it is always the flip side of the wise old man in the land of eternal youth, the wise inner elder in the land of eternal youth, the ancient of days and the fountain of youth. They both go together. In order to do that, you have to see things in your life, or set things up to see things in your life that are transparent to transcendence, something that helps you relate to the wider reality, the great self, called the unified field theory or the holography understanding, that every single part reflects the whole, like Indra's net of gems in the Indian tradition. You can look it up if your scholarship is not good. But the way I've learned to do it is through yoga practice. Mystical bliss happens when the body is overheated a little bit. Ask any athlete who gets into the zone, the flow that happens, especially when they're challenged to survive and thrive even with a succession of trials. That's where the mystical heat, the tapas, gets really into in yoga theory. So you got to put your body on the line, and as we say, hit the body hard enough and the head will die, which simply just means not to do something sadistic to yourself, right? Masochistic to yourself. It means that if you tax yourself properly, you're going to bring out hidden abilities that you didn't know you have. Or as my teacher says, you yourself don't know what you're capable of. So yes, I always say it all comes down to love. The only practice there is opening the heart. However, love, uh, in some ways, for so many people, it's just a fantasy, as if there's no effort in love, as if it's all fun in love. It's not a cakewalk in the open field. The value of love in one's life and the lover archetype, it's unquestioned, but it doesn't stand alone. And the only way we as modern people can handle the various kinds of narcissistic grandiosities that personalities have is realize that modernity doesn't have an answer for it, but mythology always has had an answer for it. Remember, mythology was the psychology of antiquity, and psychology is the mythology of modernity. So first, the new myth has to be something that's post-tribal. We have to finally have that encounter at the edge of the sacred, because if we don't revere anything, if we don't know how to find where the boundary of the ordinary stops and everything else starts, we'll never know how to unite the different elements that seem to be divisive and separate from one another into the unified hold on us that it really has. So we're going to have to learn to experience reverence in order to be healed. And it begins with post-tribal imagining as a possibility. Can we get beyond what has separated us throughout human history and unite as a species? Hope you find your way. I'm showing you my way.